So hello everyone, welcome to another live with THiNC Institute of Design. As most of you are already aware, the NIFT first phase results has been published. So the next stage is NIFT Situation Test, and in this particular video we would be talking about NIFT Situation Test, how exactly to prepare. We'll be busting a lot of myths, we'll be coming up with a lot of clarity, answering all of your questions. If you have any questions, please post it in the live chat box. We have some questions which you've already got, and to answer all of those questions, we have with us the academic head of THiNC Institute of Design. Hello, sir.
Hi.
So, I hope most of you have checked your results already. If you haven't, you can go and check in the NIFT NTS portion in the website, and you can check out whether you've been shortlisted or not. Obviously, you would not have got a score of how much you've scored in CAT, how much you've scored in GAT, and all. No, it doesn't happen right now. It'll happen only after your situation test is complete. Okay. Now, regarding the results that has come, so basically it is the first phase that has already been published. Now, we are expecting the situation test to happen somewhere between mid of April, right?
Yes, I think most probably it will be around April mid. I think MDES date has already been announced.
MDES dates have already been announced the first week of April, so probably in the mid of April. And the final results for B.Des and BF Tech combined. BF Tech does not have a separate drawing section or anything of that sort. So both of that combined together is expected to come as per the NIFT brochure. It is expected to come by somewhere around the last week of April. Okay, so that's the story so far. Okay, now what happens usually is that somewhere around the first week of April, you will be able to log into your portal and you will be able to select the examination centers of situation test. Most probably it will happen in NIFT campuses only. In previous years and all, that's how it has happened. You never know. This year it's NTA and NIFT who is conducting it.
Yes.
So NTA and NATA are two exams which you must be ready to face surprises. They will come up with anything and anything they could come up with. Okay, but please note that in most of the cases, once they open the portal, you need to. It's a first come first serve basis. So you need to pick the campus that you want as soon as possible. The moment it is open, please get in and select it as soon as it's open. Let's say, for example, you want to get into you want to write the NIFT situation test at NIFT Bangalore, attempt it at NIFT Bangalore. So there would be a dedicated number of seats that will be available. Let's say it's 150. Once that is over, usually they don't show it again. So there is only one preference that you can pick. Okay, so try to do it as fast as possible once it is announced. Okay. So it also does not have, your situation test also does not have anything to do with your final selection. Where you are writing your situation test, where you are attempting your situation test.
Oh yeah. I am just wondering, like, it's
no. Situation test does have a lot to do with where you are getting into, but where you are going to attempt your situation test does not have anything to do with your.
I think last year some of the students, they did not get the centers which I think they wished to, like, because it's like first come first serve. So do it as soon as possible. When
even in case of, I think in case of NID also it's the same.
Yes, exactly.
First come first serve. In case of NID it will be much much in demand, less in supply, because the number of seats, number of campuses are obviously very less. Okay, so that's it. Just to briefly give an idea about the results. So we have got some fantastic results this year. We have got around 452 selections and still counting. We haven't been able to completely figure out the results that we have got. It's 452 plus still counting in the first phase. So it's almost a 98% plus of conversion rates.
Yes, exactly. So that's a huge percentage of results. Like every year, THiNC Institute of Design's results is getting improving, and it's in a huge margin. It's getting the number of students who got selection into the second rounds, those who selected into the colleges, it's getting double the number from the past year. So it's really like happy that our students are achieving their dreams. And also right now, and it's like offline and online. In both modes, we have a very fantastic results this year, especially in NIFT also. So we are really happy for that, and congratulations to everyone too.
We've literally dragged the academic head from the middle of preparing the curriculum for NIFT situation test online and offline modules. Okay, so I think we will we'll go into the NIFT situation test questions that most of you have. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to post it in the live chat box. We will be answering them one by one. Now, in case of the batches that we are providing, we have, as Sachin sir has already said, we have both offline and online batches that are available. In offline, we are providing hybrid mode, that is, you get the offline and online sessions as add-ons. And the offline sessions we have in 5 centers in Kerala, that is Trivandrum, Ernakulam, Thrissur, Calicut and Kottakkal. And online, obviously, you can enter it. You can attempt the sessions from anywhere. The new batches would be starting from the 25th of March. So today I think it is 21st, right? So we'll be starting from the 25th of March. You will get extensive practice of different materials, different techniques, industry experts and IDNs and NIFTians are all coming and basically talking about it. Okay, so I guess that's it. These are the sessions. These are the things that mainly we wanted to talk about. We'll talk about the questions one by one, but before getting into the detailed questions, before the questions that I already have a question, on what to practice every day to clear NIFT situation test and model makings neatly. Okay, so very good question. I think how much candidate got selected for situation test this year? Sis has asked. We don't have any idea. So from THiNC we have 452 plus selections. We're still counting it. We don't have much idea, but probably NTA might release a document.
Yes, I think NTA is conducting JEE. They have clearly published the number of selections like that.
NTA is an exam body who transparently comes up with stuffs like that. How many students have written? And
but
like
usually I think it's the triple of the number of seats.
That means the total number of seats into 3. B.Des. Total number of seats for B.Des into 3 is what usually is the selection ratio. Okay. Is hostel facility available? Asks Surya Nanda. Yeah, we do provide hostel facilities around all our centers. Now, so briefly, we'll get into the questions briefly in 2 minutes if you can. What is NIFT situation test?
Okay, so so NIFT situation test, when we comparing to other second phase rounded, it have only one phase or one kind of test, which is 3D model making. So that's the simplest way I can convey the NIFT situation test. It's basically a 3D model making. So you have different kind of situations in which they will give you certain materials, certain set of materials, and in a specific time, how you creatively using those material to solve that situation. So solving means it's not that kind of complex problems. It might be a product, or it might be some space design or accelerated design. So various kind of topics are there for the NIFT situations. So basically it's a 3D modeling. So that's it.
So that's it. Okay. Now in the further questions, we'll also see what it is not. Okay. Okay. So to start off with, I'll start taking questions one by one. So the first one that I've got is, should I focus on developing specific design skills before the test?
So specific design skills, yes, exactly. Because since it's a material handling, it's really important to familiarize with the materials. So even in the previous NID session, we have been already talk about that, because you are attempting going for a material handling test in which you have to use the material. So if you are not aware about how to handle a specific material, and if you don't know what kind of techniques you can do in those materials, it might be difficult for you. Even considering the time management, you will not have that much great time to develop a model. You have a specific time limit. So it is within that time limit you have to create something out of the material. So it's really important that you should practice and aware about the techniques and material handling techniques of different materials.
Okay. The next one, what are some of the common mistakes to avoid in the situation test?
Common kind of mistakes. I think taking too much time is one of the major issues or concerns raised by the students. So read the questions carefully first and quickly draft an answer, like before jumping into, because it's a limited material. You only have a limited material, so there is no chance of error. So you should not make a error, because they will not give you another material. So you have to use that limited material wisely. So before you jumping into solving the question or creating a model, you should have a clear picture in mind. So what you have to create, what material you have to use here, there and where, and so you should have a clear picture. So ideate first and then start developing your model. That is the best thing. So do not jump start and blankly using certain kind of material and randomly doing and stuff. So it will not might help you in the examination. So because the most important thing is limited material. So
keeping a time aside for ideation is something that's very important.
Yeah, that is really important. Not that too much time. So but again, a limited time for the ideation is really important while doing this kind of
And
examination.
also not panicking and not messing up, like your Fevicol goes down. I remember last year, one of our student, he had the Fevicol go down. He took the next one. That one also fell down. Then he had to sort of, manage. It's another thing that he reached. He got selected, but still, the larger point is that do not panic, guys. Okay, I've got some more questions. Is there any specific format for writing the write-up? Is there any tips for writing the write-up? We'll come to that. We'll be taking that question also. Do you want to answer that now?
Yeah, definitely, because it has, I guess. So, in the, I think, official notification itself, they have specifically mentioned about the write-ups. So, they are giving specific mark for the write-ups. They haven't mentioned about what are the weightage for the marks for the situation, but they have a specific mark for that. So, do not miss that point. I think most of the students miss that point. Like, that's just a write-up, so it does not have a mark, but that write-up does have a mark, but we are not aware what kind of marks will be or what percentage of marks will be. And they have strictly mentioned about the language, so it's strictly like restricted to English only. So please keep that in mind. The language or the write-up should be in English language, and definitely you can use in the write-ups. Definitely you can include inspirations for your model, and why you are using this specific material for doing this specific part of that model. So such kind of things can be included, and if you have specific time, you can also show the ideation part also. It's not a part of write-up, but definitely you can, like an add-on, you can give some ideations on those sheets also.
Okay, that's one of the most important things that you can definitely do, and to definitely not. So Aditya Sunil, I hope that question has been answered. Sana has a question. I've been practicing model making and I'm not able to complete making my food model on time. Since my board exams are going on, I can't practice every day. What would you suggest to students like that?
So the issue is right here, she's concerned about is the time management, right? So only that time management can be beaten by only practicing. So even you have board examination, so try to find some little bit time. Every day, I think, but it might not be possible since the board examinations are going on right now. But try to practice with different materials, like means learning some techniques on different materials that can also bring down the time.
So
spending time.
I think that is one of the most important things, right? It's not just about handling a lot of materials, but also knowing these techniques, different variety of techniques that are required, even joinery techniques without using the glue and things like that, which will make the thing more appealing. Also, are some of the important points that should be looked
and
into.
it is really important to familiarize with the tools which they are using. So materials is one side, but it is also equally important that the tools in which you are using for the examination, so you must be used to that.
Bad worker will always blame his or her tools. Okay, so I hope Sana, we have sort of answered that question. Okay, and there's another question: should we carry the materials for the situation test? So there are certain things that you have to carry. It's not the materials, but like let's say, for example, the sharpener, Fevicol, and things like that. Usually, you get an idea when the admit card is.
They have specifically mentioned about the items that can be carried along with you for attempting the studio test. There is restriction also in the tools which you need to use. So I think usually there will be like Fevicol, then paper cutter, scissors, scale ruler. So
okay, so after once you get the admit card, you get a better idea of what are the tools that could be carried. But these are what we said are usually the materials that are carried. We have got this from the last year's admit card. And okay, we have some more students who've already joined. Guys, please do not hesitate or please not wait for us to speak up and clear your doubts. You can please feel free to shoot the questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'll go to the next question. Is it important to make a very polished and finished model?
to an extent, yes, I guess, because it's really important. It's NIFT, so that's the important thing. Even in there, if you have gone to the write-up for the NIFT situation test, not the write-up, the introductory part of the situation test, they have clearly mentioned about certain points which they will evaluate. So some judging parameters. It's really important. So among that, the most important thing is the neatness and finishing. So that is a very valid point considering the NIFT examination. So guys, try to, while you practicing, so try practicing these kind of things also. So how to do like perfect cut, even the cuts also. That should be perfect. I'm not saying like they will not expect you that a hardcore designer who can handle any kind of material, but it has to be in that way. They will only expect you from a student perspective. So with that, definitely you have to show some neatness of your model, some fineness. So that's really important.
I think Nandini used to highlight that fact a
Ah.
lot. So Nandini was our student currently at NIT. I think she was rank 7.
Yes,
NIFT.
because that is a judging parameter.
That is definitely a criteria. So this is academy head, throwing you gold diamonds. Okay. What should I bring with me to the situation test? So I think that question we have sort of answered it. Are there any common myths or misconceptions about the situation test that I should be aware of? Anything specifically with respect to the aesthetics versus the functionality part? What should be the balance?
Yes. So most of the students have this doubt that will that be similar to NIFT Studio Test? So that's the most common question which we have been hearing from our students also. The answer is no, because NIFT have some multiple formats. They have blind test, they have audio, visual round, group discussions, such kind of things. But considering the NIFT situation test, there will be only 3D model making, and along with that, as a part of it, write up. So these are the usual ones. So till this year, it was the format. Okay.
It's NIFT, they could throw in surprises. Okay. Aditya has another question. Is it important to use every material provided by NIFT or can we skip?
Material.
Yes.
Can you?
So like I'm assuming that Aditya is probably asking that the different kind of materials that are being provided in the situation test is what you're probably asking. Let's
Okay, the kind of materials which we can be expected. Okay, so it is only analyzing the previous year question papers and patterns. We can have like around, there will be around 30 or 35 materials list in which we have been included in our curriculum for our students. Like usually that in between the number of materials will be limited around 10 or 12 or 13, but usually definitely there will be color papers. For each and every question, that will be one important factor. So usually the materials which you can expect will be color papers or cardboards or mount boards, then bamboo sticks, then toothpicks, then thread, then there will be cotton balls or thermocol balls, then buttons, so quilling papers. So there are a lot of lists. It is when I saying that there are a lot of lists, but not exactly all of these materials will be provided. Certain set of materials will be given in order to solve that question. So limited. So ice cream sticks, then straws. So the list is going.
Okay, we have somebody who is very close who has come up. Arun says big fan, sir. So that's your fan base that's coming up. Okay, how about wastage? Like, what's the importance of wastage in an exam like NIFT situation test? You're given a lot of stuffs. What's the importance of using all the material, optimized way of?
Yes, that is another judging parameter is also, because maximum utilization of the materials which has been given, that is one judging criteria for the NIFT situation test. So like even after you completed the model, the balanced material you have to keep it inside the the box or something which in which the materials has been provided. So they need to the kit inside it, because they need to know how materials you have been utilized. So that is really important, how efficiently you have used those materials. It's really important. So material wastage, so try to incorporate all the materials wisely. It's not like if you have some material you have to attach that this side that side. It's not like that. Try to use that wisely and efficiently. So that's the most important thing. That is also a judging parameter.
Okay. Talking about the questions, like what are the kind of common themes or prompts that we could see in situation test?
So usually you can expect product design questions, then space design, memento, trophy, that kind of design. Then one most, I think, recently asking one kind of question is abstract visualization. So they will give you some theme. So you have to create, inspiring that particular theme, you have to develop a model. So that is one important questions. And then toy, puppet, so such kind of questions will be there. So that is the most usual ones.
Okay. There's another question. Okay, sketching. What is the importance of sketching for NIFT situation test?
So I think it's only you get means useful. The sketching will be useful only at the ideation stage,
Ideation part.
ideation part. So they will not test your sketching skills. So it's about all the material handling and the 3D model.
You might find some questions in probably the studio test.
Yeah, studio test. Oh, definitely. Oh,
It's
that is another thing.
Okay. Studio test can include almost anything. Anything under the sun, even over the sun, they would include. Okay. What are the next steps after clearing the NIFT situation test? So basically, once you clear the NIFT situation test, you get your results, CAT, GAT, and situation test combining together. Out of 100, how much is the mark that you get, and you get a rank based on that. Based on that rank, there will be a counseling process. Usually it is 5 to 6 rounds that will be there. In these 18 campuses of NIFT, you can give your preferences. And based on that, whichever campus, based on your rank, your category and all, whichever rank you have got, based on that, you'll be allotted a campus and you'll have to do the payment. And after that, after probably the 4th or 5th round, they'll ask you to go in and visit the campus. You'll be able to, in between that, you'll also be able to book your hostels. I think that's it. Anything?
No, that's the most important thing.
Okay. I think, okay, there is a question which has already been asked. What are the kind of materials that I should practice working beforehand? I think that's already been covered by sir. What are the kind of materials that we can expect in situation test? That's also being covered. What's the importance of aesthetics of the model compared to functionality?
So usually the question which has been asked in the NIFT situation test, it's only 3D model. So they will not incorporate some kind of functionality into it. It's the NID which includes some functionality to the model. But usually in NIFT, they only ask for 3D models. So how aesthetically that looks good, how efficient is the design, the color combination or composition you are using on that product or 3D model, how skillful it is, how fineness, neatness. So such kind of parameters is has been judging. But yeah, definitely functionality in most of the questions that will not be there. It's only the 3D model making. So NIFT is all about this composition skills, then creativity, so maximum utilization of materials, finishing neatness. So I think most important is into that part. It's only about a 3D model, not the functionality. Most of the questions will be in that point of view.
Okay, that's great. So how much time should be dedicated to writing compared to this 3D model making?
So no, I think I suggest you should not take that much time. And it's the examination, guys. So the one thing I need to mention, so during the examination pressure time, during that time, you will never think about this write-up. So most of the students last year, they have that kind of situation. It is on the last minute or last second, they have just randomly write up something, and it should be necessary they do it that in way, because just write something. So I think it's on the if on the first stage, if you can write something regarding your inspiration or what you are going to do, so that will be fine. And at the end, if you have got some time, you can just add something to it.
Okay. Geeth George has a question. What are the kind of things that I should carry for situation test? We've already covered that. So basically, usually in the admit card, if I talk of the previous year, they have sharpener, eraser, pencil, pen, Fevicol, paper cutter, scissors, rulers, and sellotape, transparent sellotape. So these are the things. Now, exactly for this year, you will have to wait for your admit card to get a better idea of what are the things that are permitted and that are not permitted.
And I think in the last year, something about the GAT admit card.
Oh yeah, the written examinations admit card was also asked. I think last year and last year also they had asked. So it's always better to have that admit card also, just in case you don't have any bloody idea of where that is. Guys, search it right tonight itself. You should figure that out. And on a worst case scenario, if you still don't get it, write to the NTA's helpline number of NIFT and try to get at least a copy of that. Okay. How many questions will be there for the situation test?
So it will be one, and sometimes it will be optional also. So you have some set of questions, you can choose one among them and you can do it. It will be in that way. So you need to only do one single question.
If you're really lucky in your life, there won't be any options. Okay. So you should be prepared for all the possibilities, you know. Okay. What are the different... Okay, is there any personal interview? I think that is coming from the M.Des part. Probably after looking at the M.Des part, B.Des students also feel that we have a personal interview.
No. In the situation, the second phase of NIFT for bachelor design, it's only situation test. It is for the master's program, they have personal interview. So you don't need to worry. Bachelor students need not worry about it, but for the M test, they definitely have
To worry about
the
it.
personal interview.
Okay. What's the importance of coloring? Is coloring necessary for this?
First of all, you will not have to take it, or they will not allow you to take colors in the situation test.
Salt.
So nothing you should think about the coloring. It's about the model making. So I think that question, no.
Nullified. That's been nullified by the academic head. Okay. Sir, I don't have extra photocopies of my admit card. What to do? So you will have to either get a, if you have a soft copy of that, it's great. If you don't have, you will have to write to the NIFT along
Yes.
with your
Yeah, and guys, it's already last year. We are not
sure
sure
whether
about
they'll
this
ask
year
this year
also.
or not. With NTA being the authority that's conducting along with NIFT, we are not sure. But if you have it, please keep it. If you don't have it, write a mail saying your name, your registration number, and email ID and things like that, and ask them, is it necessary?
I think they can just wait for the admit card.
Okay. Aditya has another question, sir. How to approach the theme related questions like the previous years, making a 3D model on themes like joy, calmness, etc. Okay, I'm getting a message that says we're not audible. Okay, am I audible now? Can everyone please respond in the chat box if I'm clearly audible? Can everyone please respond in the chat box? Okay, great. Gayatri says great. Okay, Swati. Okay, I just came to know that you guys are all listening when you said we are not audible. Okay, so I think about the write-up, it's clear. I think Aditya's question also has been cleared. Quite interesting questions, I must say. That's especially coming up from Aditya. Okay, another one from the misconception of masters portfolio. Is portfolio required for situation test? B.Des situation test.
No, actually, no portfolio for the situation test for the bachelors. So you don't need that. I think in the NID also the same question you have been asked. So no need of portfolio for the NIFT situation test. Only the 3D model kind of question can be expected. You need not carry portfolio.
Okay. Can we take sellotape, sharpener, and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think the question has been already answered. In this admit card, they will specifically mention about the items you can bring to the examination hall. And last year it was pencils, sharpener, eraser, fevicol, paper cutter, scissors, scale or ruler, then transparent sellotape. So these were the material last year. But definitely we have to see the admit card this year whether any kind of material has been added or anything has been removed. So we have to wait for the admit card for the final confirmation.
Okay, we have 3 more questions. If there are any further questions that you guys have, please do not hesitate to post it here. Okay, regarding the new batches that are coming up, we have the new batches from the 25th of March that's starting, both the online batches and the offline batches. We'll be covering the entire topic for situation test. We have a separate curriculum that we have made, and faculty from NIDs and NIFTs and other design experts, industry experts who would be joining with us. So if you want to know further details about that, we would request you to contact us 8086111055. Now, okay, is there another form we have to fill for the situation test? So again, as I said, Saloni Ranjan. So again, we have to wait and see if there are any additional forms that are going to come up, or if there would usually be a separate admit card that would obviously be coming up. Okay, so we'll have to wait till that. Sana is asking how to decide which trade to choose at NIFT. So I think we will be having sessions with toppers who are currently at NIFT, of different trades who are currently at NIFT. Let's wait for the situation test to be over. We'll we'll focus one problem at a time, and after that we'll have sessions wherein one, you will get an idea of these trades, and two, you will also get to interact with them and ask questions. What are the things that you get to study? What are your IDMs, that interdisciplinary minors that you can usually study? And also the most asked question of whether I'll get placed if I take this one or not. Okay. Other questions that we have. Okay, we have a question on using the glue. So what exactly is the policy of using the glue for the portfolio? Situation test.
So I think definitely the one material which you can, or the item you can carry along with in the, I think on every year this particular item has been a permanent one, so that's a glue. So that's Fevicol. I think specifically they will mention about the Fevicol. So definitely you can use that. So I think most probably, and in sometimes, I think in rare cases, sometimes in some product there might be some conditions, like I think in usually it's on NID, such conditions where they're like you should not use glue for creating such models. Usually that's on NID, but in NIFT definitely you can use the items like Fevicol. I think you don't need to worry about that.
Okay,
but learn techniques.
It's always better to be over prepared
yes.
in such cases. So Aditya is asking the same question that Aditya has asked earlier. So because we weren't audible, could you please give the answer again? So it's basically how to approach these theme related questions like previous year, the one that's related to joy, calmness, depicting all those themes. So answer it other than joining thing. There are other things that the academic head would probably spell.
So guys, I think one thing will be the kind of the color you are choosing. I think you will have a given materials, and sometimes those material, I think for example the colors of a sheet of paper, so that might be something quite similar or related to the one kind of theme in which you can, in theme you can depict with. So identify, so clearing, you might have heard about the color theory. So what the meaning of a particular color, so color psychology, like what these color depict. So you can use such kind of color combinations while doing, and also shapes. Each and every shape have its own meaning, so you can try that. And also I think some 3D elements or some abstract kind of things in which you can create a visual impact, like you are depicting this kind of things, like conveying some emotion through the model. I think you have to explore this really deep, like might have seen some emojis. So it is using some animation, they are depicting some like emotions through different smileys. So in that sort, I'm not saying like you are using smile, I'm just take it as an example. So similarly there will be some things we can do to depict these kind of words. So I think I have seen in our classes itself, just an example, not I'm saying about the 3D models, using the lines. So our faculty has been teaching how to create an emotion using the lines. So depicting some meanings about the line using the lines. Similarly, you can create model using such kind of stuff. So definitely you have to learn. So some color psychology, some color theory, shape knowledge, and these kind of other stuff can be added. So it's really important to learn such kind of things.
So this is actually the application of all those things that you have to learn and you have to start applying. So that's what we would also be covering in our situation test batches of both offline and online sessions. If there are any further questions which aren't being answered, you can also post it after this particular video also. We will be answering them. If you have any further details about how to join our batches and all, you can contact us at 8086111055. We hope the session was useful. Thanks everyone for joining in. We hope we have been able to give you a brief idea about what exactly the situation test is all about. We would have further sessions that be coming up. We'd also try to get in some of our toppers who are currently at NIFT, so that they give you a real life experience on how exactly hands-on was the NIFT situation test. Whatever theory we say, when you are exactly in the examination hall, it's a whole different ball game altogether. So a lot of things might be coming into your mind. There was also one question about where exactly would be the examination center. So in most of the cases in the previous years, what we have seen is that it is the NIFT campuses that they select as the examination centers. So you can select the nearest campus that's there in your state where you are right now. But the only thing is that you have to do it on a first come first serve basis. Okay. And there were also students who were asking whether there is a separate fee that you have to pay for attempting the NIFT situation test. No, you do not. If you are shortlisted, then you obviously have the right to get the admit card and get into the examination hall. Okay, so I guess most of the questions have been answered. If there are any further questions, please do not forget to ping us. You can also ping us in Instagram. You can also ping us here at the YouTube page. We have also shared the link of a blog, 10 valuable points on how exactly to crack your NIFT situation test. And a special tip to students who are already preparing for the board exams: a lot of things might be happening in your life right now. You might not have any idea of how to even survive, but there are a lot of students of our previous years who have survived under this pressure, performed exceptionally well.
Wow.
It is about holding the calm when the sea is mad.
And guys, one pressure is coming all the way, the NID.
That's on its way. Okay, I think that question is also to be answered, right? What happens if I am selected for both NID studio test and NIFT situation test?
That's a wonderful question.
First thing is, obviously you have to be happy. Okay, you have been selected into a couple of prestigious institutions, second level examination.
And
After that,
I think preparation methods are different. So only the material handling topics are quite similar. Like the earlier question, so NID is more into some kind of functionality, or they will not just restrict in finency or neatness or composition like that. That will be something little bit more than just creating a 3D model. So NID is like that. But again, the material handling, the kind of stuffs, that will be quite similar to NIFT. That will be really helpful for you. But other than that, for NID, you have to prepare some more other different kind of examination
different
pattern
kind of topics, different kind of questions are being asked, as we talked about earlier, like for example the blind test or the audio visual round. So you'll also have your sketching ability will also be tested. Then obviously there'll be some model making, or probably the functionality part of certain models will also be tested. Okay, there is a question from Z on KSDAT. Any updates? Not yet. I think IFTK has released their examination and things like that, so you can probably apply to that. KSDAT, we are still waiting. Usually, I think it comes somewhere around April, May, and all. That's the usual time. Okay, now MSD asks, when did NID results release? So NID results are expected by the 28th of March, 4 o'clock. Evening 4 o'clock is what they're saying. Usually what happens is probably 1 or 2 hours earlier they release it. They could also do it 1 or 2 days earlier. You would never have any freaking idea about these institutions. Okay. I think yes, that is it. Now, regarding the importance of NIFT situation test, I think that's something that has to be mentioned. Like, it can take you from probably a NIFT Srinagar or a NIFT Daman to NIFT Mumbai.
Yes, exactly. Because see, every student, there is another misconception, like it's only just 20%. I have good scores in first phase, so it will not that much important. But the one major factor is the each mark which you are earning. So that is really important. So that can get you into top NIFT, and so please keep that in mind. So each mark is really valuable. So so prepare that very well. Even that is 20% weightage is not. It's not like it is not that important. So it's really important.
Okay, there's another question from Art by NJ. Sir, Feviquick കൊണ്ടുപോകാമോ secret ആയിട്ട്?
ഇല്ലടാ.
Secret ആയിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ കൊള്ളാം, പക്ഷെ അവർ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് അവിടെ ഒരു തീരുമാനമാവുന്നതായിരിക്കും.
വേണ്ട, വെറുതെ റിസ്ക് ഒന്നും എടുക്കരുത് പിള്ളേരെ.
Never do anything of that sort. Okay, if they have said that you can take just Fevicol, that's it. End of the statement. Do not do anything beyond the admit cards. Okay, just follow it to the T's and I's. Do not go beyond all of that. Okay, so I guess that's it. We have covered up most of the questions that we have already had. Any further questions, shoot it to us at Instagram, or you can DM us at WhatsApp also. 8086111055 is the number for admissions. So thank you everyone, and all the best from our side for
Yes.
your NIFT situation test. We would be coming up with further sessions. We hope that you found this session interesting, and you should be able to crack it, and we'll see you in flying colors with NIFT.
And I hope we will see in our online and hybrid sessions also, guys.
Okay, so I guess that's it. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining.
Yes.
Until we see in the next session, thank you everyone, and from the backend team of THiNC, thank you everyone. Until we see in the next session, thank you.
Thank you.